We don't often have a gummy today's special value from 8Greens. This is the brand, allow me to demonstrate with one of my favorites, Mango, that taught us, and I am going to talk with my mouth full, but they taught us simply doing that, a delicious, juicy, flavorful gummy, come with me, can give us a week's full of all the nutrients, vitamins, and ingredients that our body requires. This is what a week's worth of delicious 8Greens Gummies looks like. Easy, you pop them in anytime. I just spit one out, excuse me. My team's laughing at me. It's hard to talk while chewing them. Pop them in whenever you want, and look what you get for the week. Broccoli galore, spinach out the wazoo, milk, which, can you carry that even home from the grocery store? I can't. And oranges, tons and tons of oranges. As I look at this fridge, I invite you to look at our value for the day, because that is a whole lot of money, especially when shopping at the grocery store these days. Maybe 20 years ago we could have done it, but I don't have the room for all that. I can't eat it fast enough. And I will be very honest with you, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I say is not, I really sure could go for some spinach. I go right to the coffee pot. So I get my nutrients this way. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shop now, because we have been incredibly busy with lots of sellouts on the day. And I don't know what we're gonna lose next, and I know the value is only good for today. So one jar this size of 8Greens costs $65. Our 30 count is gone. Our 60 count is gone. And we're left with the good stuff, which means you get more 8Greens Gummies for more months at a time. I have a 90 count that is 3 jars. Now that is 3 jars for $120. Do the math with me. If one jar costs $65, we should be paying $195 for the 3 count. Instead, we are saving $75, and it's basically as if you get a jar included. Then there's a 4 count jar. That's going to be a total of 120 gummies. Follow along here. If one jar costs $65, it would cost you $260 to get 4 of these jars. Instead, you are paying $150, and it's as if you are getting 2 jars included. You buy 2, you get 2. Now, of course, you can put this whole thing on Easy Pay. It's $24 for the it is $24 for the 90 count and $30 a month for the 120 count. And here's what I have left as far as flavors. If you want them to ship immediately, you have apple, and all of these are delicious. In the 90 count, we have 550 only. That could very well sell out. In this hour, we've been that busy. If you want the mango in the 90 count, we have fewer than 1,800 to go around. Now, let me tell you about the peach, which everybody talks about. Who would have known that people who are famous would be buzzing around talking about peach gummies, but they are, thanks to 8Greens. Now, this one cannot ship now until January 13th, but good things come to those who wait, and I highly recommend the peach, in particular, if you're going to ask your kids to start taking these 4 and older. If you want the peach in the 90 count, fewer than 1,800. If you want it in the 120 count, we have 2,300. This is not a lot at all. And here's what I want you to do. If you love 8Greens as much as we all do in this building, would you please give us a call? You're gonna meet Dawn, the creator, who's really changed so many of our lives. And I know you probably would like to thank her and tell her your story. And America would love to hear how you're choosing to get all the nutrients you need versus spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars at the grocery store, never ever being able to recipe all that and get it all to your system, and dumping a lot of that money is what we were doing before. Now we can take care of ourselves and do it in a tasty way. So let me welcome in Dawn Russell. She's helping me. She's helping all of us. And Dawn, I don't even know if you remember this, but years ago, before you actually had your first on-air presentation, I was the host in your little training class. Do you remember that?
No, you've never told me this.
Well, we never get to hang out because, you know, I'm always doing fashion and beauty.
You're working.
But I remember that day, I made myself a mental note, when 8Greens hits the QVC airways, Amy Strand, go and get this, because it has nothing to do with the age I was. It had everything to do with I was a mom at that point in my life, and I realized the best thing I can do to take care of my kids is to take care of the mom who needs to be around healthy for a lot of years.
Of course. Oh my God.
Yes,
wow, that
right?
is a lifetime
I
ago.
know. But you
First of
told me
all-
your story that day too,
Yeah.
and that hit me hard, girl.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, good math work. I mean, that was bloody impressive, right?
I
was like,
remember.
ooh la la. So, yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, well, if you've not met Dawn before, again, give us a call if you have. But tell everybody your story, because when I met you, I got to really hear the details. And you, when you had a health scare, and not even a scare, I mean a health crisis, dove into what we needed to put into our bodies for optimal health.
Yes, it was obviously I was forced by a very serious issue. And when Western medicine could do no more, I literally went to the basics of what am I putting in my mouth at this moment. And all of this, which looks so impressive.
Look over here in the
so
right-hand
intimidating,
corner.
so expensive, so overwhelming.
So rare, too.
So rare, right. The spirulina, the blue-green algae. It is so important for us, and it is so overwhelming. So I spent 5 years and 270 plus prototypes getting it into these gummies because A, there's no coloring because you can see how much green is in them.
It's dark.
And B, I don't care how much you want to feel good. If it doesn't taste good, you'll do it once. But to continually do it, it had to taste great.
Well, and that's why we all love them. Now, when 8Greens first came onto the market, there's a powder, and we still love this form, and now there's a tablet. But this is the fastest. This is the easiest way. And I personally find that so many of our customers who are on this system find it to be the tastiest way. So if you're at this point, I get it, it's December, where you're like, if I had to describe the way I feel, I'm a little tired, I'm very sluggish, a little mopey, and I just don't have energy. Perhaps, you know, when I go to the doctors, I'm almost embarrassed to report what I'm doing to take care of myself, and I know he or she is going to be a little, well, try this and try that. Dawn, I find it very intimidating to wake up tomorrow and say I'm going to train for a marathon, or I'm going to start lifting heavy weights, or I'm going to make sure every day for the year of 2025, I'm going to get at least an hour of exercise in. And to be honest with you, food sometimes is more important than even the movement. So if you are finding that you're not getting the nutrients and the nutrition you require, Dawn, can I move you over here?
Yes, please.
So we're supposed to take 4 of these delicious, easy, chewable, soft gummies every day.
Yes.
And when we do, tell everybody what they are fueling their body with.
Yes, absolutely. So these 4 gummies are 1-day serving, and they're equal to all of this. So you have 4 gummies. I know, it's amazing. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Food Database made these equivalencies for us, not 8Greens. So we have as much vitamin B5 as 15 cups of broccoli.
Okay.
As much.
So I'm supposed to eat this in a day?
Yeah, or these 4 gummies.
Okay, that's a lot of broccoli. I had some today, and I couldn't get much more down than one little dish here.
Well, I'm pretty impressed you got that down, let's be honest, okay? Then we've got the 3 oranges for vitamin C. We all need that this time of year.
Okay.
Spinach is the B6, 6 cups. So again, you're not having all this or this. And then lastly, we have the 7 milks, equivalent to 7 milks of the B12. So you have to have all this in a day.
In a day.
Or you have these 4 gummies. And
I don't have time to cook any of this.
I
don't have
know.
time to sit down and eat any of this.
Gulp that much. And really what it's kind of, I'm summarizing, the B's are for energy. And then you've got the C, which is amazing for immunity. But we all need energy, and we all need the real greens. And that's what these are made of. Real greens from the farm. No extracts, no concentrate, because then the heat's applied and it's not, there's no nutrients, basically.
Now, let me bring you back over here, because I love your help in describing the flavors. Because if you're looking at this table, and maybe you tried to get on a spinach kick and it didn't go so well.
Yeah,
I
good
hear
luck.
you.
Me
It only
too.
worked for Popeye. That's the only person spinach ever worked
Exactly.
for, right? You know, maybe you don't even like to peel an orange and sit down and eat an orange. Maybe milk is not your thing. Well, these are absolutely tasty and delicious. And there is no hint of spinach in there, broccoli in there, spirulina or wheatgrass. In fact, I find it to be as tasty as candy. I kid you not. But if you're not ordering today, you are going to miss out, not only on the value and not only on the gummy, because it's not often when we do the gummy today special value, but you're going to miss out on taking care of yourself in such a fast, easy, delicious way. So remember, the 30 count's gone and the 60 count is gone. We're down to the best options. I told Dawn earlier, I mean, with no offense to those who shop the 30 count, but this is a routine you want to get onto. And the bigger bottle count you buy, whether it's the 1 20 or the 90, that means you have more gummies for weeks and months at a time. So tell everybody about Peach. This is now only in the advanced order.
Yes.
Shipping out January 13th. And it is one heck of a buzzed about flavor.
It's definitely our most popular flavor. People are obsessed with it. It is like a Georgia peach exploding in your mouth. There's no other way to say it. You know, it's just that explosion of a good, juicy, juicy peach. And it is definitely our top seller.
Kids love it too. So if you want to start with a children's routine, they have to be at least 4.
Exactly.
But this, they're going to ask for more and more.
Yes. Although the mango, I have to say, my favorite. It is, and I don't really like mango, to be honest. But this flavor, I think it's the strongest. And yeah, it's just boom. Oh,
they're all so good.
Yeah, so it's real mangoes, real peaches, and then you've got the apple, which
always
is
the most popular.
Apple. What do you want to do? Them?
Tell me what it tastes like, and I'm going to give a big update here.
So the apple is our original flavor, and a woman last night called in and said it's like tart and tangy at the same time. I thought that was a really good description. This is my kid's favorite.
Okay, so here's what's going on. Dawn showed up last night during a hectic holiday season for 50 and Fabulous. I was actually fed gummies by Mally when she teased the show and said that Dawn was going to show up early. And right from the beginning, our customers said, yes, it's time to take care of ourselves and time to be better about that. So we had, Jason, how many last night? 33,000. I have fewer than 11,000 to go around for the night. Flavors that we had last night are completely gone. And jar counts completely gone. What I mean by that, if you just wanted 1 jar, gone. 2 jars, gone. So thank goodness we are left with the 3 count and the 4 count, because that's where you really lock in this system. So here's what I have remaining in flavors. If you want the most popular, the apple, in the 90-day count, we have fewer than 450. That is not going to last. In the 120-day, 450. So before we know it, apple's going to be gone. Out of here. Nada. If you want Dawn's recommendation, this really tasty mango in the 90 count, we have fewer than 1,800. In the 120, oh gosh, fewer than 4,300. Now, those 2 choices are shipping immediately. Peach, I get it. It's a loved, loved, loved flavor. So go ahead and hold off to January 13th. It really won't be that long, and you'll get your favorite. If you want it in the 90-day, I have fewer than 1,600. And if you want it in the 120, oh my gosh, you have fewer than 2,200. That might sell out too. I mean, it's been a crazy day, but I want to go over that value real quick. Because remember, when you talk about a 90 count, that is 3 jars. 1 jar costs $65. So typically 3 would be a price tag of $195. You are not near $195 tonight. You're paying $120, and it pretty much means you buy 2 and then you get another jar included. And I highly, highly, highly recommend 120, because if you're taking care of yourself, why would you take care of yourself for a day, a week, a month, right? So get the most gummies you can for the biggest savings. If 1 jar is $65, that 120 count should be $260. That's not our price. We're at $150. That saves you $110, and basically it's like buying 2 and getting 2 jars. And Dawn, again, when we go over to this fridge, grocery bills are different in different areas of the world and the town.
Yep.
But do you ever go there and like you look at prices on things and you're like, wish I could eat you, wish I could bring you home, but I just refuse to pay that price for that organic produce.
Like
Thank you.
Yeah, the little salad heads now, just yeah.
Right, I tried to buy cauliflower the other day. I love mashing cauliflower, but the cauliflower looked like an ice cream scoop, and the price was ridiculous. And I can probably eat 5 of those little cauliflower heads myself. So I find myself not even choosing healthy because it's expensive. So this plate of your delicious, easy, on the go or at home 8Green Gummies is a week's worth of all of the food that you see in this fridge. Dawn, I don't know any household that can even house all this veggies.
I mean, the broccoli just makes your jaws look tired. And it's interesting, when I was standing over here, it starts to smell.
I know what it smells like too. I'm just saying someone's going to say, whoo, what is that?
It literally, we've had it for one day, and I'm like, oh, it's starting to smell. It goes off so quickly, and it's such a bummer because it's
and you gotta
so
cook
important.
it fast. Or doesn't it break your heart to dump that broccoli in the trash, dump the wilted spinach
After
in
you've
the trash?
smelled up your entire kitchen, yes. So you're like, really? I have to smell this, and I'm throwing it away? Yeah, it's like not right.
Well,
not
I go
right.
over, like, there's no rules. As we're very, very busy on the phone lines, I invite your calls again. Dawn and I would love to meet you and hear your 8 Green stories.